we are as a people inherently and historically opposed to secret society, opposed to secret oaths, opposed to secret proceedings. No official of my administration, whether his rank is high or low, would interpret my words here tonight as an excuse to censor the news, to stifle dissent, to cover up our mistakes, or to withhold from the press and the public the facts they deserve to know.
Hello. Welcome to Conspiracy Corner Podcast, everyone. This is Abe, your host. It is June 9th. 69, 2026. So, this kind of sucks. I cut the tip of my thumb off at work today. Not completely off, severed, but it's like a circular cut, and I just kind of pushed it down and put it back together, and then I think I'm gonna leave this on there for a while. Hopefully it heals back together. So that was part of my eventful day. As far as updates, yeah, and then listen to this, man. You ever wake up in a really good fucking mood, and you're just feeling it, you're just feeling nice, and you're feeling happy and all this shit. So I had to buy some stuff, some grocery shit. So I bought Sammy this little strawberry cup. She likes strawberry margaritas, so I bought her this little strawberry cup. But I also got my normal shit. I bought a pill bottle of L-theanine because I take ashwagandha, L-theanine, and CBD. So I was getting some L-theanine, little strawberry cup, anti-diarrheal pills because I get diarrhea sometimes. Shit that I needed, a thing of cologne because my cologne ran out, and usually I keep a thing of cologne in my car just because I smoke on break and I smoke a lot and I don't like smelling like an ashtray. So I got a thing of cologne to keep in the car because I'm using Sammy's car now. While I'm shopping around at work, these two little bimbos, I swear they were 12, 13 years old, wearing literally booty shorts to the point their butt cheeks were hanging out. I chew gum. And you guys know me, I have a tic. I'm a very nervous person, so when I'm chewing gum, I kind of like gum because I channel my nervousness into my chewing, so I'm walking around like this, You guys know me. I'm a bunny rabbit, man. I used to do speed and shit. I'm still hardwired that way. I'm a very fast, very jittery person. And one of these bitches turn around and go. And it just pissed me the fuck off because, one, you're at my workplace. And I'm minding my own business. And you're at my workplace, so I can't sit here and confront you and be like, you fucking bitch. Because the first thing I wanted to say was either slut or cunt. And I was like, no, I can't say that because I'm at work. But then a little evil part of me clicked. And it was what if I just creepily said, you shouldn't play with psychos? Or you shouldn't mess with psychos? I was like, ooh, you shouldn't mess with psychos. I didn't say it, but I was like, oh! I'm at work, I'm not allowed to say this shit. Because if I was off the clock and I wasn't at my place of work, let's say we were at Walmart or something, I would have immediately just been like, you shouldn't play with psychos, and then just went off into another aisle. You guys know me, I'm a troublemaker, but it's dude, I'm literally minding my own business. I'm doing my own shopping. Yes, I'm chewing loudly my gum. Fuck you, man. And I know they're just little whores, but whatever. But as far as an update, that's about it. Let me do my plug real quick, and then we'll get on with the show. I don't know if you all can hear it, but I want you all to hear it. It started raining here in Kentucky. Let me see if I can pull the camera up real quick. Showing them the weather. Say hi, Sammy. Alright, so I have a Buy Me a Coffee account set up in the link below. If you choose to donate to the channel, it helps pay for pens, papers, notebooks, laptops, all that shit, flash drives. I will send you a bumper sticker, and you will get also a signed bookmark, Conspiracy Corner. These bumper stickers are durable as fuck. My wife has one on a coffee mug. Thing has been washed a billion times. I had one on my old Cadillac. That thing has been rained on, snowed on, sun beaming down on it. They hold up. Like, yeah, you give me something like $5 or something, you know, I'll send you a sticker, man. You know, because I think 5 is the lowest you can give on Buy Me a Coffee. But yeah, dude, just hook me up and I'll hook you up. That's about it for plugs. Let's get on with the show. So I wanted to do kind of more of a fun episode. Last episode was a good episode. We reached episode 700. It was kind of just a celebratory episode. Just talking about how grateful I am, how happy I am podcasting, and just how much enjoyment you guys have given me as listeners, you know, because it's kind of hard to have a podcast without any listeners. So, like, I wouldn't be here without you all, you know. I'm not going to sit here and broadcast into the wind. I stand on a soapbox and you guys listen. But we've been covering some more darker, more black-pilled shit. But this right here is very interesting. So we got this whole alien disclosure shit going on right now. I always give this disclaimer. I think it's a psyop. I believe in Project Bluebeam. Not saying I don't believe in aliens, and I don't believe in, like, flying saucers and shit like that, but I think it's a distraction from the Epstein files. I think they are literally throwing out everything but the Epstein files. And I also think they're prepping us for Project Bluebeam, which is the final card. If you listen to the assistant of Warner von Braun, the fake alien invasion. But I'm still going to cover it because I find it interesting. So, yeah. So the Catholic Church fired an in-house exorcist for saying that UFOs are actually demons. I can explain. So, we have been covering, we've actually go down, if you're listening on YouTube, go to the Alien Disclosure playlist and or the Catholicism playlist. We've actually been covering the whole battle of Christianity, Catholicism specifically, but also just Christianity in general versus the concept of aliens. Matt Gaetz the other day we covered, or no, I don't know. We've been covering the whole concept of, are aliens demons? You know, I'm open-minded, possibly, maybe, you know, but this priest allegedly, supposedly came out, I don't know why I'm saying allegedly, but supposedly came out and said that he did like a sermon and said that he thinks that all these UFOs are actually demons, and then now he's getting fired. So let's get into the nitty gritty. Yes, the church still employs exorcists. No, they aren't allowed to call UFOs demons. Why not? A Catholic priest got fired from his job as an exorcist last week because he claimed that UFOs are in fact demons. Which, by the way, I truly in my heart of hearts believe that these things are intertwined. So, what is a demon? First of all, if you're looking through a pagan lens, it actually comes from an older word called daemon, which goes into like Greek mythology and like older pagan religions. It's a daemon. D-A-E-M-O-N. Now, if you go into a Christian lens, a demon would be a fallen angel. From the rebellion with Lucifer, 1/3 of the angels fell to earth. They became the demons, whatever. Can they shapeshift? So it's very interchangeable. There's UFO accounts. Like, if you're an ancient astronaut theorist like me, like, there's UFO accounts in the Bible, like Ezekiel's wheel. Yeah, I mean, can they shapeshift into nuts and bolts, or appear to be nuts and bolts? I don't know. I used to think it sounded batshit just because I don't like Christianity, but the older I've gotten, I'm like, maybe. I could hear it all, dude. You could tell me the craziest shit, and I've always got an open ear and an open mind listening, So that news reads like a bit of a genre-mashed Mad Libs. So we'll slow down a bit. Monsignor Stephen Rosseti has been working in the Washington Archdiocese for the past 15 years as an exorcist. For those who know of exorcisms, primarily from horror movies, the news of a professional exorcist in the nation's capital causing drama may have been a bit confounding, but exorcists are an established part of Catholicism, of course. While some more skeptically minded clergy do not enjoy discussing demonic possession, each diocese is supposed to have a designated exorcist, which, by the way, we covered. I think it was last month we covered, there was a meeting of higher up in the Vatican of like, hey, we need more exorcists in each diocese. We did a whole episode on it. I'll link it down below in Spotify. If you're listening on YouTube, go to the Catholicism playlist and you'll find it there. I'm very interested in exorcisms, Catholicism. As someone who was raised Protestant, I've always been super curious about Catholicism because it was like bad and witchy, That's what I was taught. My dad was a preacher, That, and I'm a big fan of like based off true story exorcist movies, The Conjuring and The Rite, all that shit. It's a real role in the church, and while it's not exactly like Hollywood portrayals, it's not entirely dissimilar from the movies either. If a person in the diocese comes to fear that they or their loved one has been bodily possessed by a demon, the diocese launches an investigation involving medical, psychological, and psychiatric testing. I'm glad they specifically say that because there's a movie called The Exorcism of Emily Rose, which is loosely based off of an actual story of someone who died during an exorcism because they weren't treated medically correctly, psychologically and medically. They were getting into the whole Jesus woo-woo shit, and this person died during an exorcism when they should have probably been medically treated. And, like, the whole movie's about the priest going on trial, which is based off of a true story. I think her name was Annalise. Look up Annalise exorcism. There's a whole controversy about it. It's actually a sad fucking story, because this poor girl probably needed actual medical attention and psychological attention, but instead she was just getting screamed at and holy water thrown at her, and it's like, hey, it's cool, Jesus, yeah, whatever, all that bullshit, but, we probably need to actually, like, medically help this person, And you guys know me, I'm pretty woo-woo, but when it comes to, like, this little girl dying, So, I'm glad they're at least looking more into, like, actual medical, psychological, all that shit. Science, In the rare cases when the investigation concludes that the person is indeed afflicted by the devil, the designated priest or bishop who has received special training and apprenticeship steps in to perform the rite of major exorcism at the chapel or other discrete location for the exorcism. The priest sprinkles the possessed with holy water, lays the hands on them, breathes on their face, recites exorcistic prayers over them, holds the crucifix upon them, and makes the sign of the cross over them, and screams, "The power of Christ compels you," you know. Rosseti, this is the one who's fired, a licensed psychologist. So Rosseti is a licensed psychologist. I cannot tell you how much that warms my heart. After hearing Annalise's case, where she died during an exorcism when she should have been treated medically and psychologically, it warms my heart to know that he is an actual licensed psychologist. Thank you, Vatican, for actually doing something fucking good. And he's unusually a prolific exorcist, has led hundreds of exorcisms and deliverance sessions. So he's like been doing this for years. He's done hundreds of exorcisms. According to the website of his exorcism-focused nonprofit organization, he also trains other priests to be exorcists. By the way, dude, I've always said, if I ever end up a widow, which I don't want to, but I want to become an exorcist, I'm going to probably, like, just quit my fucking job, and I'm going to, like, I don't know, buy a ticket to, like, Italy, the Vatican, something. I'm going to literally become, like, a priest, man. Literally go into priesthood. Like, I'm not even joking. Because I thought it'd be so cool to be a fucking exorcist. Like, I don't know, one of my favorite superheroes is Constantine. And I know it sounds crazy, but if I was a widow, I think that's what I would do, is become an exorcist. Recently, however, Rosseti's remit had included statements on UFOs. Quote, this is his quote, what he got fired for on his commenting on the whole UFO thing, because we got disclosure that's going on right now. So he's just like, hey, I'm going to weigh in. And he got fired for his opinion on what UFOs are. As an exorcist, he says, I wanted to raise that danger, and that is that demons like to hide. Rosseti had said in a May 29 video posted, May 29th, you need to put a TH, sorry. I used to be a journalist, so like when I see shit like that, I'm like, where's your editor? So on May 29th, video posted on Facebook, it is my personal belief that probably many, if not most, of these UFO sightings are, in fact, demons. So he's just saying, it is my personal belief. It's not the Vatican's belief. It's not mainstream Catholicism's belief. It is my personal belief as an exorcist, as a diocese. I think that UFOs are demons. Now, we covered in the UFO disclosure playlist last month, it was either last month or the month before, we covered, I don't know, yeah, I think we did cover Matt Gaetz. He talked about, well, no, it wasn't Matt Gaetz. We covered Vice President Vance, J.D. Vance. We covered J.D. Vance talking about, he believes the same shit. He literally did an interview and he's like, yeah, I'm a Christian. I think that these UFOs and these aliens are fucking demons. And he said this on mainstream news to a mainstream journalist. Look, man, I'm an occultist. I'm a witch. I had a demonic experience when I was younger. Well, the only way I know how to describe it is demonic. But it could have been a jinn, you know. I don't know. I like to just hear this shit. I like to read it. I like to talk about it. My whole thoughts on the devil and demons and all this shit. I'm a believer. Don't get me wrong. I believe in all sorts of shit. I had a demonic experience. I've seen ghosts. I've seen apparitions. I've seen orbs. I've seen UFO. I believe in all of this weird shit. But I do have to say, that, like, people have said, like, hey, don't get a Ouija board, don't play with a Ouija board. I've played with Ouija boards for hours. I've fucked around with scrying mirrors. I have literally played with fire when it comes to magic and all sorts of shit. And I'm not gonna lie, dude, people are like, oh, your house will get haunted. And have I had weird shit happen? A little bit. But I've never had anything over the top demonic or anything super crazy like happen. I'm sorry. I believe in magic, you know. I've seen magic work through my life, but I've never seen like demons or like fucking around with shit. So I don't know. I mean, I know it's out there. I know it exists, but like I don't know why I don't get fucked with, and I'm thankful that I don't get fucked with, but I'm like, I think people overreact, because then it gets into the concept of like tulpas and shit. Like, are you creating a tulpa with your paranoia, with your fear? Because if you're putting your fear into it, fear is one of the strongest emotions. Are you creating a tulpa? Are you creating a demon? You know? Look up the concept of tulpas if you don't know what I'm talking about. So, UFOs may seem to be squarely outside the lane of an exorcist, but they are in the news of late, thanks to the government's last month releasing the in ostentatious and Trumpian fashion UFO files. And Rosseti isn't alone in seeing a spiritual nexus on the topic that, at least in secular circles, is more commonly discussed in the context of aliens, physical nuts and bolts. In March, Vice President J.D. Vance said that he believes that UFOs are demons, which we just spoke about that. It's going out. But Rosseti's comments ran afoul of his boss, the Catholic Archbishop of Washington, D.C., so his diocese is in Washington, D.C., Babylon, who announced Wednesday he had been, quote-unquote, removed. Rosseti has been removed from his position as an exorcist. So the Vatican fucking fired him for saying that UFOs are demons. I find that intriguing. I find that weird. Do not blame the current pope. I'm just going to say that because I'm going to cover it on a whole other episode. I actually like this current pope. He put out a speech the other day that's like anti-AI. He literally has been speaking out against like AI. And I'm like, I had a good feeling about this pope anyways. Like, you can look at my older episodes, man. I actually kind of like this pope, this current one. We're going to do a whole episode on it, on his little speech with AI and how it ties in. If you're a Catholic, you can actually use your freedom of religion, religious beliefs in your workplace. If your workplace is trying to force you to use AI, you can say, hey, I'm a Catholic. Because of my religion, I can't use AI. It's fighting AI, dude. He's actually, I know, I'm not saying like he's a perfect person, but I am saying I do like this current pope, and he is currently fighting against AI right now. And I like that. You guys know how I feel about artificial intelligence, you know. So, there are good people in everything, you know. I think even the Vatican, man, like even the Vatican, I know it's a child trafficking ring, but I think there are good priests and there are good exorcists and there are good popes and shit. I think it's like anything. It's been infiltrated with just darkness, like, you know. So where were we at? Oh yeah, so he got fired. In its statement, the Archdiocese said Rosseti's UFO takes, quote, gravely undermine... Sorry. A car is going by. So, quote, gravely undermine the church's very precise teaching on the devil, demons, and exorcism. So, whoever the fuck fired him, Which, by the way, they're not telling who is quoting this shit, who's saying this shit of why they fired him. They're saying that it undermined the church's very precise teaching on the devil, demons, and exorcism. So, like, how dare you bring ufology into demonology? And it's like, well, dude, it all connects. I always say that conspiracy, spirituality, religion, ancient history, all of it fucking connects, man. It's a fucking spider web. You guys know how I feel. Let me go pee real quick. I mean, I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry, not sorry, but these things are all interchangeable, you know? My wife, like, she has changed her perspective now, but, like, several years ago, I had said, like, everything's a conspiracy. She's like, no, everything is not a conspiracy. And I'm like, yes, it is. Give me something. Give me a random thing, and I can tell you conspiracies behind it. And they are very all connected. So, like, ufology is connected with demonology. Demonology is connected with ancient history. Ancient history is connected with ancient religions and mythologies, which are just another word for ancient religions. The only reason it's a mythology is because it doesn't have enough members, so it becomes religion into mythology, you know? It's all fucking connected, man. So when this guy says that it undermines the teachings of the church, it doesn't fit in with Catholicism. How does UFOs and aliens not fit in with Catholicism? Have you ever read the Bible? There's all sorts of ancient astronaut shit in there, dude. To the uninitiated, it's a bit confusing that a religious official whose job description includes warding off demons could get in so much trouble for speculating that there could be a demonic link to what are, by definition, an unexplained aerial phenomenon. I actually prefer unexplained flying object, but I don't like UAP. I like UFO, which is our term. You're not going to hijack our terms, you know. Is there some grand conspiracy here? Does Rosseti know too much? I don't know. Does he? Let me know in the comments below. Scandalous as that sounds, there's actually something less supernatural and more terrestrial playing out here. A power struggle between the Catholic Church and influencer priest who have successfully harnessed the internet's algorithms. So apparently this dude's popular online. So because it wasn't just his statements on UFOs that got Rosseti canned, it was per the statement his recent use of social media that also undermines the church's teachings. They didn't like that it was broadcasted to the world. That is one thing that I love about the internet, dude. When I tell people, like, I was talking to Frankie, this punk, professional BMX guy that I want to do an interview with. We're setting it up. He's cool to do it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to interview him, and then I'm going to at least put in a good day's work of, like, helping him build his half pipe, you know. I figure that's a fair deal. Free interview, and then I'll put in a good day's work of, because he needs someone to help him build a half pipe. Anyways, I was talking to him tonight. We were talking back and forth, because he's not real big on the podcasting. He's a punk like me, but he's not big on talk radio and podcasting. Like, he understands the concept, but I'm like, homie, like, podcasting is punk rock, bro, because it's like, talk radio is dead. With the internet and with podcasting, I can literally type up any subject, and I guarantee you there's a podcast out there talking about said subject. People say it's oversaturated. I'm like, no, there's not enough, man. We need more podcasts. I tell people, start one. You would be surprised, man. My wife, she'll listen to a podcast on who invented cake. She listened to, I kid you not, we were on a road trip one time. She listened to a Betty Crocker podcast on the life of Betty Crocker. And I was bored out my fucking mind. But at the same time, I'm thinking in my head, dude, you can podcast on anything, dog. So they didn't like that with the internet, man. Like, and of course, all the conspiracy channels right now are talking about this shit because this is crazy conspiracy fucking cannon fodder, man. I mean, it's dope shit. So I don't know. What do you guys think about this Rosseti getting fired as an exorcist? I guess he was the priest of that diocese of Washington, D.C. Apparently, the Vatican doesn't like priest and exorcist saying that UFOs and aliens are demons. What are you guys' thoughts on that? I think it's censorship. I don't know if this guy's got a GoFundMe, but if he does, I would like to donate to it, you know. Love y'all. Please like, share, and subscribe. And let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Y'all have a good day. Oh, yeah. I already forgot I can't hit that because my finger.